Hey everybody, today we are running the weird 4-color build, which will probably cut down to 3 because I still don't think that there is a whole lot of reason for us to run it as a 4. I play first, so I will keep this. It's a pretty good hand, all things considering. I do wish that I had a second blue so that the Nullify was at least up, and maybe that Angelic Edict was something a little bit more friendly to early game removal, especially with a red on the other side of the field. But we'll see what we can do. I mean, we can Traumatic Visions as a land cycle and grab what we want. But I don't know about that. Don't see Negate getting any play here, considering what we're up against with 2 red mana out there. I don't think Negate's going to have anything to do. That's a bit of an issue. What can I get? Nothing really yet. We've got white, blue, and black. That's going to be a problem. I say we actually get a red mana to help us out of this pickle. So that'll give us a few more ways to deal with this 1-2, because Shock is in this pile now, so we can do that. White is probably the color that gets cut if we cut this down to 3 colors. White does have fun things like Angelic Edict, which is a big pull in this deck. But we can do we can do some janky stuff, some what I think would be less effective in a lot of situations stuff. Try and fix that. Now, I was really hoping to be able to burn that thing, but it didn't work out. Fur of the Bitten on that is not going to fly, though, because then I have very few ways to kill this one. If it was a 3-4, I don't have a lot that can deal with that right now, especially since I don't have any mana. I really wanted to think twice, but that Fur of the Bitten, I just can't run the risk of having that Fur of the Bitten out there. Now, if I can get some steam going, if I can draw a land here, it's a little slower than what I would want, to be honest with you. But I do have my land for turn, so I don't have to think twice out of turn or anything like that. Think Twice needs to tap that way, though, because red is the only thing that can remove one of these guys from play. 4 mana, 5th mana gets me some removal, but only in the form of that Angelic Edict. Now we're in a little bit of trouble here. Let's sit back down at the table. We don't want to be rude. Standing up seems a little like we're a little overexcited here. We were really trying to draw that shock. Did not seem to work. I think this deck in just a 3 color so that we can utilize everything we would want to utilize from the I don't see white pulling its weight. And we've even added some cards that should make white a little bit stronger here, but it just doesn't seem to be doing what it needs to do. So I'm not sure. I mean, we're sitting here, we're staring down the barrel of 3 turns at best. And that's just scary to me. That's not what I want to do. And I've got no card draw in hand per se, so I don't like that. We are at 8, which isn't terrible considering, all things considered, because I do get to think twice here. Point that at myself. I kind of expected this guy to do something, have something for us. Think Twice did nothing, though. Which I don't know about you guys, but I feel like that's kind of a problem. shit. This is not great. That's not good either. This is not what we want to have happen here. Well, we'll nullify that. That's gone. Voyage's End this. I'm at 2 though. And that's not gonna be enough. That's not gonna do it. Because I'm at 2. You know, there is an issue with this deck where there aren't enough low-cost board wipes. And white does give you the planar cleansing, but just not enough of the time to do anything with it. I mean, because that's game right there. There's nothing I can do. It's really regrettable. But if we're blue, black, and red, we have all the good things that Obelisk of Alara can do. I mean, just no. I mean, fuck you. I guess I have a ton of open mana, but I could still technically pull this out if I had just the right cards. It's also gonna serve to stop the... I mean, our mana base is super diluted. That's why you don't run 4-color decks. Like, the mana base is just diluted as shit. So if green's definitely out of this, then blue, red, black is all we need. Because running a 4-color deck, people have talked to me in the comments about 4-color decks, and they don't make sense. They're nonsensical. And so I stand by the fact that there's not really a reason to build a 4-color deck, and I think that's really been talked about here. See, we put the Righteous Blow in to try to do those early game threats, but I don't think that white belongs in this deck, so I'm going to make some cuts, make some changes. I'll talk to you guys in a second. So the new issue that we run into, and the reason why I was holding on to white for so long, is that once a creature makes it through our defenses, so let's say that we don't have the mana open or the ability to cancel something in the way that we would want. Once a creature makes it through, we don't have a way to really deal with it in a strong manner. Like, it's very difficult for this deck to handle something like that. Now, I play first, which is going to allow me to get out of this predicament somewhat, but I don't like this at all. I really don't like having Grizzlebrand. I just didn't want to go down to 6. We have a lot of card draw in here, so I probably could have survived it, but I really don't like that. I would love to draw just a vanilla island right here. I didn't, so I have to play the second Crumbling Necropolis. The chances of something getting through us right now that's worrisome aren't great, because this guy's white, and another white might be 2 dudes. Wait until my turn to play this is actually not the best play, because now, I mean, I just dissolve everything so that I can look at the top of my deck and really get a sense of what I need to have go on here. We kind of lucked out against this guy. He's got a few too many cards, I believe. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Just a couple. Mentor of the Meek definitely does not make it. We could have used the Nullify, but I want to see what's on top of my pile. Just kind of get an idea. I know we need a lot of mana. I'm going to put that on the bottom for right now, because we're going to run out of ammunition soon. Now, if we draw like an island or something, I'm going to be a little bit more upset. Negate's not a problem, though. From here on out, I don't really have an issue with just using... just leaving lands at the top. Like, it was a little questionable throwing away the land like I did. This is going to be another cancel, but I would really rather use the Nullify in this instance, because we're still not 100% sure what we need to draw. And if it's a land, we're going to leave it on top. Chances are that it is, in fact, going to be a land. So we want to keep stuff like this up there. 3-4 is a bit of a problem for us. Anger the Gods is pretty neat, but the 3-4 obviously still needed to be dealt with because we wouldn't have had a way to do that otherwise. We have shocks in here, things like that. We have lots of card draw. We're not seeing any right now, which is a problem for us. But like I said, we're just kind of sitting and hanging out, and that's not too big of a problem. Saying no to that land was a little questionable, like I said, but sometimes you just have to believe what's in your heart. And if this guy gains life right away, I'm going to frown a little bit because Anger of the Gods is a little slow. He's down to 4 cards. I really kind of just want a land in this instance, just to start picking stuff up. That's not bad, though, because I can leave it open. I'm going to let him do some damage to me here, though. I think the chances of him having a lot of guys that are low are high, since we saw the Mentor of the Meek. I think him trying to play that 3-4 was just a kind of a one-off thing. I think we're going to see some stuff that we don't want to have happen. I really hate that coming down here, especially since I can't deal with it. So I'll go ahead and get rid of that. He's down to 3 cards. I'll leave that on the top, like I was saying. We're going to start wanting to play a lot of lands. He's down to 3 cards in hand, which is nice. I don't have a way to grip up again, which is a bit of a bummer for me. And so now we're sitting here. I don't know if I wait another turn or not. I kind of don't have a problem with that 2-2 getting bigger, but there are ways that he can make that 2-2 too much for me to deal with. So we have the negate and the vapor snag, though, which means that I can kind of sit on this Anger of the Gods and wait around for something better to happen. You know, make this a little bit juicier. He's got 3 cards left in hand. I would really love for him to play out, just try and get this 2-2 to be a bit larger before I use the Anger of the Gods, because once that comes down, I'm in a bit of a pickle. Dissolve would have came out with the negate. Seeing that's making the guy a 3-3, but that is a guy that I can eat, destroy. Actually might vapor snag this because the chances of him playing it again are really high. We are going to do that, in fact. But I can just cancel this and then eat it. And see, he's down to just 2 cards in hand. So once I Anger the Gods here, I took 9 damage. Which is a lot. That's a big hit for me. But he's down to 2 cards in hand. I don't have a lot of other ammunition. You know, I know what's in my hand. I need to get this guy down as much as possible. You know what I would love to draw right here? Would be a land or any kind of card draw would be really helpful. That's kind of nice, but a little thick for me. We're going to go ahead and do this. It's going to tidy up the field. Go ahead and exile everything. 3, 4, 5. So we can use the Traumatic Visions to get ourselves to 6 mana. It would be the 4th black that we need to cast our lovely Grizzleby Dailies. But then we still have a bit more to go. But you know what? I don't think this guy has a lot left in the tank. So let's go ahead and grab a swamp here. Put it into our hands. And just calmly sit. And wait for things to work out for us. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I kind of want 2 more mana before I cast the Grizzlebrand, because I might have to pick it up with the Vapor Snag. That would be a lot of damage, though, because I'd take 8 on the turn. But you see how we dealt with absolutely everything and we still have the Dissolve? That's what we were waiting for. Because we dealt with everything that this guy had all at once. And now we're just sitting. We still have the Dissolve. So if he's drawing, even if he's drawing threats, he's probably gripping them up so that he has more of a chance to do stuff later on. So now we just kind of sit here. It sucks that we're stuck at 7 mana. We would have 8 if I hadn't tossed the mana originally. That negate would have been in our hand on time anyway as well. But really, what are you going to do? 8's not enough because this Grizzlebrand needs to come out somewhat delayed. It's 1 more. The chances of him being able to deal with this Grizzlebrand are about 1,000%. So I cast this guy. I take a bunch of damage. I don't have anything else to do. I don't have any answers at all. Because I would be at 4. You got to assume that he's got a way to deal with this. So we're just going to sit here. I'm not too worried yet. We've got the shock. We've got 2 vapor snags. So I'm not too scared about what this guy has going on his side of the field. I really like this. What I would love to see right now, to be honest with you guys, is... I'd love to see a Think Twice. I think that would really help us out. Now let's see what we have here. Now we got this guy is a 2-2, so we'll let that land. We'll shock it at instep. Fine with that. We flashed him, so he probably knows that we have the counter. And we've got an enchantment being played on it. We're going to go ahead and burn out this creature. Dead. He was not a fan of that. It made him frown. He's back down to 3 cards. You can go ahead and stop having flashed the world, my friend. There's nothing that you could do. I mean, he could have given that protection, but we would have just vapor snagged it or dissolved in response to that. So we're at 9 mana now. Correct. One thing should be untapped, so we're going to go ahead and cast this Grizzlebrand. We can vapor snag it if need be. I go to 4 life if I draw 7 cards. That's scary to me because I don't have the life gain that I used to from the obelisk. So it's a little frightening. You know, we do just get to vapor snag this guy, which is fine as well. You know, we could draw 7 cards first. This guy can't do direct damage to me since he's white. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'm at 4. At instep, I will... Well, I can't ulcerate. That's for goddamn sure. Okay. I just gotta make sure that I mind my triggers and everything and cast this at his instep. Alright, vapor snag that guy. It's going to bounce that back up to his hand. We're going to regain our 7/7, be able to bash in, go back to 11. See, the damage is a little scary here now, though. That's the only real issue that I have with this deck is that life gain, not super useful unless it's an option. You know what I mean? Like, I really liked having the life gain on that. Reprisal is a beater. I'm going to have to cancel that. Because I need that life too. I will Traumatic Visions that. Sure. I still have the Dissolve open. I gain my life. I'm going to get rid of a couple of these Ulcerates and some land. Well, 1 Ulcerate, 1 land. That seems fine. And it'll be the blue land, because why not? We have the Think Twice. We can't really utilize it to its full potential, but 1 Ulcerate and 1 Island seems like a fair deal to me. We've got our 7/7 out there still. We can go to 4 again, because like I said, this guy can't do direct damage to us, which is actually really nice. We still got the Vapor Snag, so I don't have a problem with that. This 3/3 is going to go ahead and sit on our dude, but instep, I just go ahead and blast that back up to his hand. And freeze, freeze, freeze! Are you serious? Are you fucking kidding me, game? Are you serious? Okay. Alright. Alright, okay. That did not work out as well as we would have hoped. We tried to freeze it, but that did not work for us. We would have also been able to think twice once. What do we do here? I guess anger the gods. I should be able to hit this guy for 7 damage right now, and I didn't. Okay. Alright. Just shake it off. We're fine. We've got a fistful of removal. This guy's got 2 cards in hand. We've got the Think Twice. We've got the Ulcerates, the Vapor Snags. We've got tons of stuff going on. We don't have to worry. We're going to be fine. Reprisal. I'll just dissolve that. I can scry. Bottom. It's not very important right now. Oh my god, this guy should be at 11 and I should be at 18. Wish I would have drawn 7 cards and gone back down to 11. Oh, this game would be so different. So different. We're still okay. We're still okay. Okay, this guy bounced anyway. It ended up not mattering. Oh, that was fucked up, though. That was really... That was nerve-rackling right there. Nerve-crackling. I was not a huge fan of what transpired for Team Tek right there. That was the badness coming up to get us. So the only thing that I would consider putting in here are some of the colorless, you know, tap this for any color things. That's really all I would work on. We should have done that last turn, but the guy bounced right then and it freaked me out. I didn't know what to believe anymore. That, stop. Do it all now, why not? Stop. Flash that back, sure. I mean, it's like at a certain point, what are we even looking for anymore? It doesn't really matter. Because this deck doesn't have anything that it can do to us. The only thing that we really wanted was cancel of some kind. We can burn 7 life to try and get that. The lack of life gain is scary. The lack of life gain is scary. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. There's not really much that we could do about that, though, to be honest with you. I mean, we could put a few life gain tricks in here or there. We have the removal life gain spell, which, you know, is what you would want, where they sacrifice a guy and you get it, especially with all the vapor snags and things like that. You can really, really get some good life gain going there. Even late game, you can get that going. I'm going to take one more look at this, so hold on a second. You know what, actually, I guess we're just going to call this one quits for right now and just have, I think, one more playtest. Now that we're down to 3 color, I think that it's going to be a lot easier to just get this thing taken care of and get this deck out to you. This is, of course, the stall pile. I don't know what the hell we're going to end up calling it. I don't even know anymore. It's gone through so many iterations. But it's something that we're going to look at. It is tricolor now, which makes it a lot more stable mana base wise. The 21 lands, a lot more forgiving there. I don't know. I'm sitting here, I'm trying to think. You know, I really like having those tricks from Obelisk, but it's not worth putting more lands in there, I don't think. But anyway, you guys, thanks a lot for watching the episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all next time.